Hello, it's Lee, Art of Light Images. Pleased to see you all again. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I work as a nurse and I was, say not redeployed, but sent away from home. So I've had to live in this nurse's accommodation. So I've had to move out basically. And it's taken me a few weeks to get everything together. Hence, I've not been making any videos recently. And I wanted to do a video on my recent purchase of the Sony 24-105 f4 G lens, which I did an unboxing of on my last video, so check that one out. Oh, I forgot something. Title, let's run it. Okay then, so this is just a kind of first hands-on review of this lens. I've only actually gone out with it a couple of times to take some images due to the fact that the country's in lockdown and I'm not allowed outside to take any photos. And to add insult to injury, I'm in self-isolation for 14 days as well. And no, I don't think I have the virus, but the guy next door might have, so I've got to keep a low profile. Get it? Anyway, back to the lens. Now, on my unboxing video, you might remember, but I talked in some depth about the fact that when you zoom the lens out towards after the 50mm to 105mm mark, but the lens became quite hard and not so easy to turn. That problem is now entirely gone away. No problems at all there. I was getting a little bit too carried away doing that. Stop it, Lee. Don't laugh at my own jokes. Anyway, back to the lens. I went out to Brodgate Park and I did some landscape shooting with this lens on a very windy, stormy day. Tell me what you think in the comments below, that is. I mostly shot this lens at 105mm because I wanted to compress the background. I wanted to get that nice compression sort of dynamic you can get at 105mm, which is why I think a 24-105 lens is fantastic for landscape work. Little side note, I will be getting at some point the Sony G20mm f1.8 that's just been released, but I've just not got it yet. But when I get it, I'll be doing you an unboxing. I don't mind shooting wide. I don't mind shooting at 24mm. I think it gives a nice perspective with not as much distortion as say an 11 or 16mm lens, for example. I hate shooting at those focal lengths and I just don't. 20mm is as far as I'm prepared to go because I just don't like messing with it. I don't like having to deal with the distortion. So 24 for me, generally speaking, is my sweet spot, or is the sweet spot, not my sweet spot. Don't laugh at your own jokes, Lee. Anyway, here are a few shots at 105mm. You'll notice, but it's quite sharp all the way through. So I shot these images at f8 and I used focus stacking just to bring all of the focus to the focal plane using Photoshop software to do that. And I think the lens performed really quite well. In terms of distortion, the camera actually fixes the distortion before the image even gets to the computer. So I don't see the point of taking photographs of brick walls. Vignetting wasn't really an issue. On my old Sigma Art 24-105, the vignetting was an issue. And even in post in Lightroom and Photoshop, I couldn't remove all of the vignetting. So that was a bit of an issue. This lens hasn't given me that problem. It's a fairly easy lens to carry around. It's not too heavy. And to be honest with you, the autofocusing system is pretty fast and accurate. It does struggle in low light, I've noticed. Not massively so, I say struggle, that's probably the wrong word. It finds lower light situations more challenging, but not massively so. So in very low light, let's say candlelight sort of situations, it might take a second to lock on focus, but that's not a big deal. And that's true for most lenses. So all in all, my initial impressions for landscape, I've not used this for portraiture yet, and I've not used it for macro. This is just an initial first run with the lens, but my first impressions are I'm very happy with the lens. It's very sharp, the colours are very accurate, it gives nice contrasty images. Files are very easy to work with, autofocus is snappy, very good. And for landscape work, having the ability to go from 24mm to 105mm with not a great deal of distortion is really useful, and it allows me to be a lot more creative. I could have bought the Sigma, was it 24 to, I think it's 70 f2.8 for similar sum of money, but for landscape work I'd rather have the 24-105, and because of the optical image stabilization what this lens has on board, I'd rather have that as well. And I know that this camera does have it built in, Steady Shot or whatever it's called. What's it called? You know what, I can't actually see what it's called because the light is in my eye and it's giving me like stars in my eye. So when I look down, I can't actually see anything. Optical Steady Shot inside. I think that's how it goes. But yeah, anyway, that's enough battering on. Basically, long and short of it, I'm happy so far. Next test, probably portraits, but that's going to take ages because we're in lockdown. I'm not allowed to get within 2 meters of a model. Damn, that's going to break a habit of a lifetime. Should I have said that? Don't matter now, you said it. You're going to leave it in? Probably. Anyway, it was a short video, but I had to break the current convention and get out there and do something. The next video will be a little bit more in-depth. All right, until next time, get out there and do something interesting. Cheerio.